Hi, I'm Anya.
And I'm Maddie.
And we're the Tweeks.
Twin Team Geeks.
This past weekend was quite a theaterful weekend.
On Friday, we saw Amelie, a new musical,
Which has the one and the only
Phillipa
Soo in it. For those of you who don't know, Amelie was at the Ahmanson Theatre in LA because it's like doing a little test run before it goes to Broadway. Amelie is a new musical based off of a film that came out.
So the original movie that came out in 2001, Amelie, is on Netflix, so you can watch it if you want. And it's a French film, so get ready for subtitles. So Amelie is about this girl, Amelie, and she wants to make it her mission in life to bring joy to other people. It's just such a pure and good plot line. It's very nice.
There really isn't like antagonist. She's kind of just always there, and her little problems that she comes across.
The antagonist really is her self-doubt.
Yeah.
Which is the true
but
antagonist
there isn't really
in life.
True problem. Like, it's just a really sweet story. It's all about her just making people happy and trying to help everyone that she can.
And eventually helping herself.
Yes. And you can't tell by our programs, we may or may not have waited at the stage door and got to meet the cast, including Miss Phillipa Soo.
And if you've been living under a rock, Phillipa Soo originated the role of Eliza Schuyler Hamilton in Hamilton.
Literally one of the most incredible experiences of my life. Not only was it like cold and I was shaking, but like my knees were like wobbling.
A life-changing experience.
And it was just so surreal to like get to meet her because since 8th grade I've been obsessed with Hamilton, and I got to meet Eliza.
And now she's doing Amelie, and she's such a fantastic actress.
She was so amazing.
She's so amazing. I'd say that it's relatively good for kids. I can't think of anything that would be not okay for kids.
Yeah, I mean, it's not, I don't know,
bring your 4-year-old child to
well,
see
no,
it.
I'm not saying your child wouldn't enjoy it because the sets are amazing. It has a very like childlike, light, happy set, and the music is really nice. But it's not like your traditional musical theater. I can't really even describe it.
It's really unique and cool.
It's incredibly unique, but it's not like if you brought your kids to see like Beauty and the Beast or like The Wizard of Oz or something like that.
The thing about the show, which might be a little bit confusing for kids, is the show has an ensemble where the ensemble plays a bunch of different characters, and they're all changing like different costume pieces. And I can see how that might be a little bit confusing for kids because they're seeing the same person doing different things and they might think it's the same character, but they should be able to get it.
Also, the show doesn't have an intermission, so if the younger viewers are a little fidgety, they might not be able to sit through the whole thing. As long as you go to the bathroom beforehand, you get your candy.
Yeah, I'm normally
you're totally okay.
Like a very fidgety person. Like, you can vouch for that. But
I'm sure you'll be okay.
Yeah. So previews for Amelie start March 3rd in the Walter Kerr Theater.
So if you can make it to New York, I 100% suggest that you go see this.
So we don't exactly know what the songs are going to be when it hits Broadway, but from the music that we heard, it was A++++++. So Phillipa Soo trained as a singer at Juilliard, and she's a soprano, and some of her solo songs are very good for soprano, so I'm looking forward to sheet music.
Also this weekend, we were able to see the Rent 20th anniversary tour, and it was literally so amazing. I've loved Rent since 7th grade. Like, it's top 3 favorite musicals, if not my favorite.
Well, wait, what are your top 3?
Rent, Spring Awakening, and the last 5 years in Hamilton are my top 4, and I could not.
I asked for your top 3.
Well, I could not choose, so that's that. Moving on. So I love Rent. I could do the whole show for you. Anyway, it was my first time seeing Rent, which is quite surprising. I've literally just watched videos of it, the movie, listened to the music, like for the past 2.5 years. I was so excited when I found out it was going on the 20th anniversary tour. I was like, oh my god! And then we got to see it not once, but twice, which was amazing because, you know, it was like seeing a whole different show. We got 2 different showings. Anyway, so Rent came out in 1996, 20 years ago, and when it was on Broadway, it won the Best Musical, the Best Score, and the Best Book in the Tony Awards for that year, as well as just countless other awards. It was It's written by Jonathan Larson, and it's about a group of 20-something, like, young adult kids living in the East Village of New York, and it's about them, and they're all 7 artists just trying to pay their rent and just really get by.
Spoiler alert, they don't pay their rent.
Well, they were golden because Benny said he would help them all out in the long run. Bought the building. And it's about a year of all of their friendship and relationships and the strifes and struggles, and a lot of people are gay and a lot of people have AIDS, and there's a lot of singing and rock and roll music, and it's a really good time. So, I've been listening to this music. I know this story. I've seen the movie, even though the movie is incredibly different. I still say you watch it, though. You can't see it. Like,
it's not on Netflix anymore.
I cried. Anyway, I always hated Mimi. I thought Mimi was annoying. I was like, Mimi is the worst. And then when I saw the show, all of my hatred for Mimi by the end was gone. And I was like,
well, all of it?
What the heck? Yes, literally all of it. And I have a friend who agrees with me, and we discussed this in full detail. All of the hatred for Mimi went away, and by the end of the show, I hated Roger. I think it's 2 things. One of them being the way that the actor played Roger. So the actor Caleb Wells, that was his decision. He played Roger a certain way. From what I noticed versus the movie, and like, I guess in the musical, like, from what I've heard before, it's like Roger kind of like pissy all the time, but the way he played him was very angry, and like multiple times he just will like slam his hands on the table.
Roger was very angsty.
Yeah, he was very angsty. So that was kind of the way he played him, and I felt like this way Roger was in the wrong. I also really loved the actress Skylar Volpe, who played Mimi. I thought she was incredible. Like, not just because she was amazing, that's why I'm kind of siding with Mimi now, but like the way she played her, and just aside from Roger or Mimi, like literally though, she was just incredible. She sang Out Tonight amazing. Because I am the rent head that I am, I went home and doing my homework. Yes.
Is that the word?
Yes. I was doing my homework, and I was like texting my one friend who'd seen it that day too, and we were talking about it. And I was listening to Will You Light My Candle and Out Tonight after I'd seen it like 45 minutes before. And I was like, wow, I actually think I like the Mimi I saw earlier tonight than the Mimi on the original cast recording. Like, she was amazing. I thought she played Mimi perfectly.
Okay, but back to the Mimi thing. We're still on Mimi, but like back to the thing. If you were Mimi, would you have told Roger about Benny?
Well, to be fair, like, she didn't do anything, like, with Benny. Like, legit, like,
yeah.
In the song, it's like she was on her way to work. And, I mean, later, they got together after she broke up with Roger. I don't love Mimi. However, I hate Roger more now. I'd taken quizzes and I was always Roger, and like that's okay, like, you know, Roger's cool. But now that I've seen the play, my one friend who was also Roger when she took the quizzes, we were like complaining, like, who are we? We're Roger and we hate Roger, so that's pretty exciting.
You poor, sweet, naive child. Do you really think Mimi was just on her way to work? She might have been on her way to work. They're all messed up.
Except for poor Mark.
Okay, Mark! First of all, the entire point of What You Own is that Mark uses his work as a coping mechanism.
Listen, that's Roger's opinion, okay? So Roger's like, whoever wants a community of his own, who's with his camera? Alone. But I don't think that's the case. I feel like Mark was doing fine, and he was dumped. He's going through a breakup, but you know, he has his friends.
Yeah, and he's using it to cope. But like, I feel like Roger was a little too harsh about that.
I agree, and I don't think Mark is messed up. I think Mark is perfectly fine. You're Mark, though. She took the quiz, and she's Mark. But I feel like everyone was like, oh, like, you know, I'm like Angel.
No, you're not.
The first place the tour started was actually in Tokyo, Japan, and it was there for about a week. And then it went to Costa Mesa, which is where we saw it. So we were the second place, technically the first place in America to see it. Literally going to be in any city you can imagine. It's touring till the end of June.
Yeah, it's like touring till the 25th of June in Washington, D.C. is where it ends the tour.
You'll figure it out. Like, if you want to go, you can figure it out. And I highly recommend you do, so go get tickets. I want to see the kid. Someone asked me today, they're like, Anya, you seem to like Rent. And I was like, yeah, I do. And then they said, would you want to be in Rent? And I was like, yes. And like, what character would you want to play? And I was just like, all of them.
All of them with one woman show of
Yes.
Rent. You record the voicemails beforehand.
I can do the whole show.
How do you document real life when real life's getting more like fiction each day?
Also about Rent, I have a few friends who like you would not think would like want to go see a musical, including my father. They really enjoyed it. Everyone would like it. Even my dad, who hates musicals and gave Book of Mormon like a 75% on the scale of likeness. He actually really loves Spring Awakening, so I mean, thanks, Duncan. Me too.
You can't refer to him as Duncan.
I listen to Spring Awakening so much. He and I are on a first name basis.
Mr. Chic at the most. I think my favorite character, not to be biased, was Mark, played by Danny Harris Kornfeld. And I thought he was just really amazing, and he just like channeled the character so well.
He sounded a lot like Anthony Rapp.
Yeah, not only was he a good singer, but he was a good actor too. Like he really got into it.
About Anthony Rapp, I love Anthony Rapp, and I was supposed to see Anthony Rapp in If Then, except
it was Snowmageddon.
I think my favorite part of the show was the I'll Cover You reprise. I think it was just really... That was my favorite, one of my favorite parts.
Fantastic, honestly.
Literally, you could hear the other people in the room.
The Collins was so good.
He was so good. Tom Collins was played by Aaron Harrington, and he was literally amazing. He kind of actually reminded me of Oak from... Yeah, but he was so amazing.
But speaking of that, I could see David playing Benny.
I could see Leslie Odom Jr. playing Benny.
Yeah,
you're
so right.
What's the song called?
You'll See.
You'll See. Boys, you'll see, boys. Let it be boys.
Okay.
I like boys. Boys like me. We'll see. Yeah. So Leslie Odom Jr. could like sing that like really well, and I really want him to hear. I really want to hear him sing a song from Rent.
That look on your face, you look like the Mr. Crab meme. You're like,
I like didn't know what I was saying. Like words were just kind of like
shook.
Sounds were just like coming out, and I didn't realize what was happening. I couldn't keep up.
Anyway, that's all for now.
Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Tumblr, Periscope, and like us on Facebook. Subscribe to us on YouTube, and check back every Thursday on ComicMix.com for new videos. Bye!
Ring! Speak! Mark Cohen, Alexi Darling, Labor Day weekend, East Hamptons on the beach. Just Alec Baldwin told him you said hi. Just kidding. We still need directors. You still need money. You know you need money. Don't be afraid of kerching. Marky, sell us your soul. Just kidding. We're waiting.